Yeah, do I start?
Yes, Nanaji, please start.
Thank you. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः पुरुषोत्तमयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधःशाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. Somebody is not muted. There is a lot of noise coming on.
Lenovo, could you please mute yourself? I cannot see the name Lenovo.
अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखा गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन छित्त्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः गच्छन्त्य मूढा पदमव्ययं तत् न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवाप्नोति इच्छाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्ज्ञानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितम् यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानः नैनं पश्यन्त्य चेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम् गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधिः सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैः अहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद् वेदविदेव चाहं द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमपुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभत्यव्यय ईश्वरः यस्मात् क्षरमतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः यो मामेवमसम्मूढः जानाति पुरुषोत्तमम् स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमन्महाभारते शतसाहस्रिकायां संहितायां वैयासिक्यां श्रीमद्भीष्मपर्वणि श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे पुरुषोत्तमयोगो नाम पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः अथ षोडशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अथ सप्तदशोऽध्यायः श्रद्धात्रयविभागयोगः Balaji, please take over.
Yes, Nanaji, give me 2 minutes, Nana. ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्रद्धात्रया विभागयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राजसी चैव तामसी चेति तां शृणु। सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयो अयं पुरुषो यो यच्छ्रद्ध स एव सः। अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः
I think you skipped, Hari Om, you skipped one verse, I think. 1 or 2 verses you skipped. Just to see. Yeah.
verse 4.
Fourth
Okay.
verse you skipped.
Okay.
Yajante
क्षम्यताम्.
satvika deva.
क्षम्यताम्.
Yeah.
यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसाः प्रेतान् भूतगणान् शान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भ अहङ्कारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः कर्षयन्त शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तशरीरस्थं तान् विद्धयासुरनिश्चयान् आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु आयुसत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्याः स्निग्धाः स्थिरा हृद्या आहारा सात्विकप्रियाः कट्वं बललवणायुत् क्षम्यतां कट्टुम्
Can I chant?
yes please,
Katvam,
yes please.
Katvam lalavanatushnah तीक्ष्णरूक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसश्रेष्ठा दुःखशोक आमयप्रदाः. Please continue.
Yeah. कट्व अम्ललवणा युष्ण
अत्युष्णः
अत्युष्णः कट्व
तीक्ष्णरूक्षविदाहिनः
कट्व अम्ललवणायुतिष्णः रुक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसश्रेष्ठा दुःखशोकामयप्रदाः यामं गतरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेद्यं
भोजनं सप्रियम्.
There is some crosstalk going on. Yeah, the 10th verse. यातयामं गतरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेद्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम्.
धन्यवाद नाना जी. 11th verse I should read or
No, you go to 11th through 15 you chant, please.
okay नाना जी. अफलाकाङ्क्षी वीर्यज्ञो विधिद्रष्टो य इज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् इज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम् विधिहीनम् असृष्टानं मन्त्रहीनम् अदक्षिणम् श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते देवी द्विजगुरु देवद्विजगुरु प्राज्ञं पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् क्षम्यतां देवद्विजगुरु प्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यम् अहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं satyam priyahitam च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाग्मयं तप उच्यते.
Yeah. Hari Om. Thank you. Yeah. Please go to the first verse. So we have done the 16th chapter by yesterday. The last two verses of the 16th chapter are very important. The penultimate sloka of the 16th chapter says, Yash Shastra Vidhim Rutrujya Vartate Kamakarataha Na Sasiddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Param Gatim. Whoever, leaving aside the Shastra Vidhi Vakyas, Vartate Kamakarataha, they conduct themselves purely based on catering to their desires. Jnatva nasa siddhim avapnoti, na sukham na param gatim. They cannot evolve themselves. Na sa siddhim avapnoti. Na, no, sa, that person, siddhim avapnoti. Siddhi here does not mean moksha. Siddhi means the jnana sadhanam they will not be able to catch on with, using which they can gain moksham. Nasa siddhim avapnoti, na sukham. They will not be happy here. Na param gatim. Neither will they attain to the paraloka prapti. Tasmat, therefore, shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavastito jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iharhasi. Therefore, Arjuna, Tasmat, Shastram Pramanam te. Shastram is the Pramanam for you. Pramanam is what? Prama, Karanam is the Pramanaha. That which bestows knowledge on you, if you use this properly. Shastram, if you use this properly, adopt it properly, listen to the Shastra Vakyas, te Pramanam, Karya Akarya Vyavastito, in your pursuits of what is to be done and what is to be avoided. Jnatva, having known, Shastra Vidhanoktam, the Vidhi Vidhanam of the Shastra, whatever the Shastra says, the Nishiddha Vakyas and Siddha Vakyas, all those things, that Vidhana, the proper way of conforming to the Shastra, Shastra Vidhanoktam, Karma Kartum Iharhasi. In this loka, iha means in this world, in your case especially, iha, karma kartum iharhasi. You are required to do karma accordingly. When Bhagavan said that, Arjuna has posed a question in this chapter. Incidentally, there are only 4 or 5 chapters in which Arjuna was quite silent. See, in and through all the 6 chapters of the Gita, the first 6 chapters, the first chapter almost belongs to him. Second chapter, he posed some questions. Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhuktum bhaikshyamapi haloke, etc. Then second chapter, he also said, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava, all those. Then third chapter started by him. Fourth chapter, in between on the third or fourth verse, he interrupted and he said, You aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataha kadam etad vijaniyam tamado praktavaniti. Then the 5th chapter started by him. In the 6th chapter, towards the end, he questions, okay, ayati shraddhayo peto yoga chalita manasaha, etc. Then in the 7th chapter, he was silent. 8th chapter was started by him. Okay. Kim adhyatnam, kim karma, kim brahma, etc. All those things he started. Then 9th chapter, he was silent. So 7th, 9th, he was silent. 10th, he has contributed something, some slokas. 11th, he has done a lot. In fact, in the 11th chapter, Arjuna spoke for the most time, most slokas by Arjuna were uttered in the 11th chapter, not in the first chapter. Then the 12th was started by him. 13th, yes and no. Some texts say he started, some texts say no, Bhagavan only started. Okay, leave that. Then 14th, he posed a question. Like he has asked these in the second chapter, Sthita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha. Here also he said, how to identify the Gunateta. How to identify. He has asked that in the 14th chapter. 15th chapter, he was silent. 16th chapter, did he ask anything? 16th chapter? No, he did not. So 7th chapter, he did not ask anything. 9th chapter, no. Then 15th and 16th, he was silent. Then 17th was started by him, Arjuna Vavacha. Ye Shastra Vidhim Rutrujya, Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha, Tesham Nishtatuka Krishna, Sattamaho Rajastamaha. Before we attend to this, any questions from yesterday, please? Yeah, if none at all, we'll go forward. Arjuna Bhavacha, Ye Shastra Vidhim Rutrujya. In respect of people who, as though unaware of the Shastra, or they have not paid enough heed and care about understanding the Shastra or following the Shastra, Ye Shastram Vidhim Utrujya, leaving that aside, Shastra Vidhi, leaving that aside, Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha, but they do the Yajnas and Yagas, Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha, endowed with a lot of Shraddha. Tesham, in respect of those people, hey Krishna, Nishtatuka Krishna. What is their Nishtha? What is the kind of commitment that they are showing in such cases? Sattvam aho rajastamaha. Is it sattva, the Nishtha, or rajaha, or tamaha? Etat vedittumichhami. This I would like to know, that kind of a thing. That is kind of unsaid, it is understood. Arjuna Bhuvacha. Bhuvacha, what did he say? Hey Krishna, hey Bhagavan, those Shastra Vidhim, what is stipulated by the Shastra, Utsrujya, giving up. Okay? Two, this giving up indicates that they knew the Shastra Vakyas, but they have given up. The other meaning also is that they were unaware of the Shastra Vakyas and they have not paid heed to even elderly people mentioning about the Shastras. That could be that. Giving up to Shraddhaya. Whereas with Shraddha, Shraddhayanvitaha, endowed with Shraddha, Yajante, they perform the rituals. Tesham, in respect of them, their Nishtha, their basis. What is their commitment kind of? Ka, what? Sattvam, is it sattva? Aho, or rajaha, rajas, or tamasaha? Arjuna said, O Krishna, those who perform a ritual, giving up what is stipulated by the Shastra, but endowed with Shraddha, what is their basis? Is it sattva, or rajas, or tamas? Now tell me, where is the need for this chapter in the Bhagavad Gita? Where is the need for this chapter in the Bhagavad Gita? Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Shraddha of three types. That the division, the subject matter of the three ways of Shraddha. That is the chapter's name. Why this is very, very important is, see, Gita started with what? The Vishada, the Manushya Vishada. Manushya represented by Arjuna. He was sorrow-stricken. And that Vishada had to be addressed by Bhagavan. And Bhagavan till now in 15 chapters after the Vishada Yoga, has given a lot of inputs to Arjuna. And those inputs are in the form of Karma Yoga Anushtana Bhavana, then Jnana Yoga Anushtana Bhavana, and Sannyasa Yoga, and the important things related to Bhakti, Adhyapicharini Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, and he has also talked about contemplation, jhana, and he has talked about Akshara Parabrahma Yoga, all those things. All these things are to be digested. Shastram will have to be listened to, and you will have to do manana of that. And after doing manana, which will knock out any doubts that you may have, the purpose of manana is to remove your doubts. Okay? And after that, you are required to contemplate. And for all this, there is what is called an attitude of the sadhaka that is required. In 15 chapters till now, after the first chapter, Bhagavan has given a lot of wonderful information. Some information is in the form of sadhana. Some information is in the form of your appreciating and trying to be that. All those things require an attitude on your part. That attitude is Shraddha. And that Shraddha is of three kinds. That is how this chapter is very, very important. Endowed with this and understanding the three ways of the Shraddha and picking up the best way of Shraddha, which is Sattva Guna Pradhana, you will go forward and will be benefited from my teaching in the first 15 chapters. And after this chapter, there is going to be the 18th chapter, which is the culmination of the Bhagavad Gita. And 18th chapter is a kind of upasamhara. It kind of sums up the entire Gita Shastra in those 78 verses of the chapter. And for that also, you require Shraddha. For you to understand the Upasamhara, this summary of the Gita, you require to have Shraddha, that kind of a Shraddha. Now, Arjuna had a doubt. If without that kind of a Shraddha in the Shastra Vakyas, if somebody carries out their pursuits, like performing rituals and all that, what kind of anishta they are evincing, they are showing. Hey Krishna, please tell me. Bhagavan says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. See, I'll tell you, this is Shraddha. The second and third verses will tell us beautifully. This Shraddha, everybody is known by the type of Shraddha he possesses, he or she possesses. The type of Shraddha. The way, like you go back to your boyhood or girlhood when you are going to the school, the way you pack your books and other things into your school bag, the way you pack, the way you hold going to the school, the way you keep that on your school desk, the way you bring it back home, and the way you keep it at a particular place at home, not simply throw it here and there, all those things, and removing your shoes, removing your school dress, and having a bath, and getting into fresh clothing, all these things require Shraddha. Every boy and girl who has been in and through all these things till now, they have exhibited a kind of Shraddha which is unique, which is distinct, which is their own. Everybody is known by the Shraddha he or she possesses. That is what Bhagavan is going to say. Trivida bhavati Shraddha, dehinam sa swabhavaja, satviki rajasi chaiva, tamasi cheti tamsruno. Trivida bhavati Shraddha. This Shraddha is of three. It's a threefold variety. Dehinam sa swabhavaja. Dehinam means people like you and I. People who have aham eva dehaha iti bhavana dehinam. Sa Swabhavaja. They will have this, the threefold Shraddha, Swabhavaja. Ja means what is produced by. Karmaja means what is produced by karma. Jnanaja means what is produced by jnana. Okay? Swabhavaja, produced by their swabhava. This Shraddha is produced by their swabhava. What is that swabhava? What is that swabhava? Shankaracharya defines that in his Gita Bhashya. Swabhava like this. Swabhava means Janmantara Kruta. Janmantara Kruta means in so many janmas, all those janmas are required to be reckoned. Janmantara Kruta Dharma Adharmadi Samskara. Dharma Adharmadi Samskara. Okay? The tendencies regarding dharma, adharma, pursuits of yours in so many janmas that you have acquired, that samskara, maranakale abhivyaktaha, at the time of death of your previous birth, abhivyaktaha maranakale, that swabhava, it will manifest at that time, and that is swabhava. That swabhava janita shraddha. Trivida bhavati shraddha dehinam sa swabhavaja. Satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi cheti tam shruno. Hey, listen, Arjuna, carefully shruno. Whenever Bhagavan said shruno, that means say, Arjuna, be attentive. Okay? Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Dehinam, for the embodied beings. Swabhavaja, that which is born of the nature of the mind. That swabhava, that samskara happens where? In the mind, in the antakarana. Sa swabhava ja, that is produced by sa shraddha, that shraddha, satviki called sattva, rajasi cha eva, rajasika tamasi cha. Satviki rajasi cha eva tamasa cha. Iti, thus trivida bhavati. It is of three kinds. Tam shruno. You listen to these. Iti Bhagavan Uvacha. Shraddha is very, very important. Shraddha, you see, you just analyze yourself, your own personality, your own attitudes. They are distinct and different from your dearest friend. These are driven by your swabhava. Swabhava is at the maranakala of your previous birth, whatever you had till then acquired as samskaras, that which becomes abhivyaktaha, that is available to you in the mind. In the mind, only that thought, that samskara janita bhavas will happen. That is the swabhava. That swabhava janita shraddha trivida bhavati. Trivida bhavati. As you get up in the morning, what you do? As you get up in the morning, what does your brother or sister do? Very different. These are driven by the shraddha. You may be having sattvika shraddha, somebody will have rajasic shraddha, somebody else tamasic shraddha. That is how the people are known. A person who has got tamasic shraddha, suddenly he cannot get on to sattvic shraddha. He has to put in a lot of purushartha in that direction. Then only it is possible. Okay? Sri Bhagavan said that it is threefold. The next verse. Yeah. Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata shraddha mayoyam purushaha yoya shraddhasya eva saha. Hey Bharata, Arjuna, sarvasya of everyone, everybody, shraddha, the shraddha, sattva anurupa, in accordance with the mind, in keeping with the mind. Okay, we'll see what is that in keeping with that mind. bhavati, it happens. Ayam Purushaha, this person, Shraddha Mayaha, who is permeated by Shraddha. Everybody is like that. Everybody is Shraddha Mayaha. The necklace you may be wearing is Swarna Mayaha. What does it mean? It is entirely made of gold. Swarna Mayaha. Every spot of that necklace of yours is full of gold. It is only gold and gold and gold, nothing else. Swarnamayaha. Like that, every person is Shraddhamayaha. Yaha, Yat Shraddhaha. He who, whatever Shraddha he has, Saha, Eva Saha. He is only that. A person is known by his Shraddha. A person is known by his Shraddha, and it is not easy for him to change. And people will call him, he is like that. He is always like that. He can't be different. Don't we say that? Shraddha mayoyam purushaha, yoya shraddhasya eva saha. And now what is this Sattva Anurupa? Sattva Anurupa, the first word. Sattva Anurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati. For everybody, Sattva Anurupa Shraddha Bhavati, for everybody. Sattva Anurupa is what? In keeping with the mind is a translation. That Sattva is what? Sattva is, again, Shankaracharya in his Bhashya, he gives a beautiful interpretation of Sattva. Sattva is not the Sattva Guna. Sattva is not even Balam. Sattva is Vishishta Samskara Upetataha. Vishishta Samskara Upeta Antakaranam Sattvam. Vishishta means it is especially related to samskara. Vishishta Samskara Upeta, that is produced by samskara. Antakaranam Sattvam. That Antakaranam is mind. That mind which is cultured or nurtured by the Visishta Samskaras of the mind that it has encountered, that mind has become purer or dimmer or whatever. That is called Sattva. And in accordance with that Sattva, Shraddha Bhavati, this Shraddha happens. Why is he like that? He is like that. His mind has been driven like that previously. And that is how it is. His Shraddha is driven by his mind. In accordance with whatever are the attitudes that the mind entertains, the Shraddha happens. O descendant of Bharata, Arjuna, Shraddha of everyone is in keeping with his mind. This person who is permeated by Shraddha, whatever is his Shraddha, he conforms to the Shraddha. This permeates the person entirely from Apadamastakam, you say, from the foot to the top of the head. Apada, from the foot to the mastakam, to the top of the head. The Shraddha permeates. Is it not true? Supposing as you are studying some text, some fly lands on your cheek. Some people have got a knack of getting rid of that. Some people don't even mind that. Some people, as though, take it away. They use their left hand and right hand to show it away. Okay, different kinds of actions are done just for a fly landing on your cheek. Different people react differently. Why? Because Shraddha is different. Why is the Shraddha different? Because Sattva Anurupa Shraddha, in accordance with the mind that they have. Okay, now Bhagavan is saying how people do various activities based on their Shraddha. Yajante Satvika Devan Yaksharaksham Rajasaha Pretan bhutaganamschanye yajante tamasa janaha. Why is Bhagavan narrating all these things? His intention is for us to gain the best attitude of all these. Yajante satvika devan. The persons with satvika means not with the sattva-guna pradhana purushas, no. The people who have got the sattvika shraddha, that is it. Of course, unless they have the sattvika guna, they can't have the sattvika shraddha. Sattvika means sattvika shraddhavan. That is the meaning. Ejante sattvika devan, yaksharakshamsi rajasaha, pretan bhutaganamscha anye, yajante tamasa janaha. These three kinds of people, tamasa janaha, rajasa janaha, and sattvika janaha, they worship differently. Who do they worship? Sattvikaha janaha, sattvika people, devan, the devas, the deities. Deities means what? Indra, Varuna, Rudra, Yama, etc. Or Krishna, Rama, Shiva, Durga, Ganesha, whoever, your Ishtadevam, Devan. These Sattvika Janaha, Devan Yajante. They worship. Yajante means worship. They worship. They may be doing Upasana also. This worship may include even meditation on them. Okay? Rajasaha, the Rajasic people, Yaksha Rakshamsi. Yaksha Rakshamsi. The Yakshas and the Rakshasas, they will worship. Kubera is a Rakshasa, like Ravana. Kubera was the elder brother of Ravana. Okay? Kubera and Ravana, they were born to the same father, but to two different mothers. Right? Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasaha. And Kubera was in charge of all the Yakshas also. Though he has taken birth as a Rakshasa, he has taken hold of all the Yakshas. And he is the finance minister of the Devas. Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasaha. Anye, others. Others means people who are endowed with other kind of Shraddha. What is that other kind of Shraddha? Only Tamasa. Tamasaha, others, Tamasaha, people endowed with tamasic Shraddha, Pretan, ghosts, Bhutaganam cha, and Bhutaganas, Yajante, they worship. That is, their pursuit is in respect of black magic and other things, that kind of a thing they will be worshipping. They would like to appease the ghosts and the Pretaganas are the ghosts and Bhutaganan, all these things they will be worshipping. Sattvika people worship the Devas, Rajasika people worship Yaksha Rakshasas, and others, Tamasika people, worship ghosts and Bhutaganas. Earlier also, Bhagavan happened to say this, though he did not give this qualification like Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And he said, Devan Devayajo Yanti Madbhakta Yanti Mamapi. People who worship the Devas, they'll attain to the Devas. But whoever worships me, they attain to me. Right? All those things he has mentioned. So Sattvika people, Rajasika people, Tamasika people, these will be their pursuits. You cannot wean them away from those activities. You can't have the Sattvika people. Hey, you do this, that other fellow is worshipping the Yakshas and the Rakshasas. Why don't you follow suit? Why don't you take a leaf out of his rituals? Why don't you adopt them? He will not. He will not, because his Shraddha is only towards doing worship of the higher deities. Next verse, please. Okay. Ashastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapo janaha dambahankara samyuktaha kamaraga balanvitaha. This is the couplet. Karshayanta sharirastam bhutagramamachetasah mam chaiva anta sharirastam tanvidya asura nishchayan. These people understand they are having the asuric disposition. What is happening? Uh-huh. Not clear. What you are saying is not clear. Ashastra vihitam ghoram. Ashastra vihitam means not granted by the Shastra. Ashastra vihitam ghoram. It is terrible. Tapyante. They undertake all like kind of austerities. E tapo janaha. Those people who are wedded to being doing a lot of tapas. And this is ghora tapas. Like what Hiranyakashipu has done. Hiranyaksha has done, Ravana has done, Kumbhakarna has done, all the Rakshasas have done. The Ghoram Tapaha, a Shastra Vihitam, that is not sanctioned by the Shastra. And when they do this tapas, they do it for thousands of years. And those thousands of years, they go without food. They go without food and they will in the second line. Damba Hankara Samyuktaha. Damba Hankara, that Hankara. They want all others to appreciate that they are highly religious. Damba Hankara Samyuktaha. Kamaraga Balanvitaha. They are propelled by Kamam and Ragam. Kamam is the Sankalpam that you are interested in obtaining any object. The Raga is having attachment towards that object, and that becomes prabalam. Kamaraga balanvitaha. That bala is owing to that kama and raga. They are endowed with that kama, raga, bala. And what do they do? Karshayantaha. Sharirastham. Karshayantaha means what? Karshayantaha sharirastham bhutagramam machetasah mam chaivanta sharirastham tan vidya asura nishchayan. This verse, during some last month or so, we happened to cover when somebody asked a question. Yeah, this I happen to say Karshayanta sharirastham bhutagramam machetasah. Karshayantaha sharirastham. Sharirastham means the things which are in the sharira, obtaining the sharira, karshayantaha. They will make the life miserable for them. For what? Bhutagramam. Bhutagramam means the sense organs, the group of sense organs. Achetasaha. People without any discrimination. Achetasa. Chetas means thinking faculty, without any thinking. Karshayantaha sharirastham bhutagramam acetasaha mam chaiva, even me also, anta sharirastham. I am resident as the very sakshi in all the shariras. They will make life difficult for me also. Mam chaiva anta sharirastham. That means what? Who can make life miserable for Bhagavan? What Bhagavan is meaning is, I have given certain laws, certain rules, some do's and don'ts through the Shastra, and that vidhi vidhanam usrujya, giving up, you kamakarataha, you go keep on satisfying your kama and raga. That kind of a thing, it really is upsetting me. Mam chaiva anta sharirastam tan, those people vidhi, understand, asura nishchayan. Asura nishchayan, they are definitely asura nishchayan. They are completely having the asuric tendency. They have their conviction that what they are doing is proper, and they do not mind continuing that. Ye janaha, those people who damba ahankara samyuktaha, riddled with pretension and egoity. They want others to acknowledge that they are highly religious. Pretension. That is, they do any puja for others to see that they are capable of doing puja. Who cares what you do? You must care for your lift yourself. In the 6th chapter, Bhagavan clearly said, Uddhared atmanatmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmana bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Hey, lift yourself up by yourself. And your mind, when you cater to that properly, it will be your friend. And if you don't do that, it will be your enemy. Bandhuratma atmanastasya enatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vatte tatmaiva shatruvat. That mind which you have not cared much, and you have not groomed the mind to the heights of nobility, that is going to be your Shatruvat. As though that is your enemy, it becomes. So that pretension and all that is because of please mute yourself, somebody.
Sunita ji, kindly mute yourself. Sunita ji.
With pretension and egoity, kama raga bala anvitaha, endowed with strong desire and stronger passion. Okay, that passion is because of attachment. Longing is okay. Longing is desiring a particular object. It is perhaps the nature of the mind to keep on desiring, and it should not become our habit to get attached to what we desire. Okay, it is the vibhuti of the mind. Mind is capable of thinking and wishing that it would have this and that and that. You just about watch the mind, be the sakshi for the mind, and acknowledge the vibhuti, the greatness of the mind, to keep on thinking of various objects. What a wondrous mechanism Bhagavan has given us. You keep on thanking Bhagavan, thinking of the mind thus, endowed with strong passion and longing. This is how this strong passion and longing can be combated. Achetasaha, without any discrimination, lacking in vyavasayatmika buddhihi. How beautifully Bhagavan emphasized that in the 2nd chapter. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana. Only that you adopt, Arjuna. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi, nischayatmika buddhihi. The mind may be thinking of this and that, and I will do this, I will do that. No, I'll go here. No, I will not go. I will better not do that. I will continue doing what I am doing. I will go visit a friend. All these different thoughts are there. It is the nature of the mind to keep on having and entertaining different thoughts. But it is the faculty of the intellect to be authoritative and decide what is to be done. Nischayatmika buddhihi. That vyavasayatmika buddhihi, that nischayatmika buddhihi, ekeha kurunandana. If you don't have that, you become achetasaha, lacking in discrimination. Sharirastam, bhutagramam, the sense organs obtaining in the body. Sharirastam. Stam is like gruhastha. The person who is in the gruha is gruhastha. Okay? Sharirastam. The things which are in the sharira, like what? Bhutagramam. Bhutagramam, the sense organs, group of sense organs. Okay? Anta sharirastam mamcha. And me also, obtaining in the body, me here, me, obtaining within the body, eva also, karshayantaha, emaciating, they don't give us food, will be the cry of the sense organs. Supposing you abstain from food because you are doing ghora tapaha, you are doing ghora tapas, you are foregoing food, then what happens to the antakarana? Antakarana will become dull. Along with that, the sense organs will become dull. In the Chandogya Upanishad, Uddalaka, the Guru, tells his son is Swetaketu. He comes with a lot of pride, coming back from the Gurukulam, and he walks also very proudly. in a very vain manner, he will be walking towards his father. The father asks him, hey, you are looking very glorious. Are you an accomplished student now? He said, yes, I am. Then he will say, have you learned everything? He says, yes. Then have you learned that knowing which nothing else needs to be learned at all? Then he will be flabbergasted. He asks his father, what is that? I said, having known that nothing else needs to be known. Yet jnatva na punarjneyam. Having known which, there is nothing else to be known. Then he, you know what? Very, very rudely he answers his father, and almost insultingly of his gurus he will talk. He will say, I don't think my guru knows that, otherwise he would have taught me. That is when Uddalaka starts teaching Chandogya Upanishad. Uddalaka mentions Tattvamasi to his son, Shvetaketu, 9 times. He tells him 9 times. And before that, he tells this fellow, okay, what all the other things you have learned? He said, I have learned all the Shastras, okay? I have learned Vyakaranam, I have got Niruktam, I have got Kalpam, I have got the Veda, I have got Jyotisham, all these things. Then Uddalaka says, okay, all these things you are a master? He says, yes. Then he says, you undertake this Vratam, that is the Chandrayana Vratam. Chandrayana Vratam is from today, which is Padgyami, you start eating only 1/15 of what you normally eat. Second day, you take 2/15 of what you eat, etc. Go on up to the Purnami day, when you can have a full meal. Afterwards, reduce that. You have after Purnami, the next ensuing Padgyami, you have what? 1/15 of the full meal less. Like that, you keep on reducing. 14/15, that meal only. 13/15, 12/15, and finally when the Amavasya comes, don't eat anything at all and come and see me. Then he will, and Uddalaka tells him, but understand, this is only pertaining to food. Water, you shall have any amount. Don't forego water. Water is life for you. Don't you ever give up water. Keep on drinking however much water you want. And after that 1 month is over, this Shvetaketu comes to Uddalaka. And Uddalaka asks him, now you tell me what all you learned in all those Vedas, Niruktam and Sankyam, Yogam, Vyakaranam, Kyakaranam, all those things. You come on. You keep on telling the slokas one after the other. He says, I don't remember anything. This happens. You have Sharirastam Mam Bhutagramam Karshayantaha. You have almost killed them. You have almost incapacitated them, emaciated them. This is what happened to Shvetaketu. These people with the Asuric pursuits, they will do that. Anta sharirastam mam cha, me obtaining in the body, eva karshayantaha, emaciating. Okay? And Ashastra Vihitam. This is not sanctioned by the Shastra at all. Ashastra Vihitam, Ghoram, terrible, tapas, the religious discipline. This is a kind of a discipline they adopt. For gaining what? Their kamam, their desire must be fulfilled. They tapyante, they perform. Tan vidhi, understand, Arjuna, those people to be asura nishchayan. They are of surely of asura conviction. Those people who riddled with pretension and egoity, endowed with strong passion and longing, kama raga balanvitaha, karshayanta sharirastam, tanvidya asura nishchayan. lacking in discrimination, perform terrible religious disciplines not sanctioned by the Shastra, emaciating the sense organs obtaining in the body, and me too, who obtains within the body, may you know them to be of Asura conviction. Those people, Asura conviction. Yeah, we'll continue tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om, Dhanyavad Nanaji.
Dhanyavad. Thank you, Hari Om.
Jai Gurudev. We will start with the Manana session, please. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadi Tamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Anyone would like to begin the shloka chanting and then the pratipadartha? Kindly unmute yourself. Whoever wishes to chant. If nobody is willing, I will chant. And Dr. Mara, are you there?
Yes, I can read. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, please. Dhanyavad. Arjuna Uvacha Ye Shastravidhimutsrujya Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesham Nishtha tu ka Krishna Satvamaho Rajastamaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Arjuna Uvacha said, Krishna, O Krishna, ye those Shastra Vidim, what is stipulated by the Shastra, Uttishajya, giving up, Utsirjya, giving up to, but Shraddhaya, with Shraddha, Anvitaha, endowed, Yajayante, perform rituals, Tesham, their, Nishtha, basis, Ka, what, Sattvam, is it Sattva, Aho, or Rajas, Tamas, Tamas. Arjuna said, O Krishna, those who perform a ritual, giving up what is stipulated by the Shastra, by endowed with Shraddha, what is their basis? Is it Sattva or Rajas or Tamas? Let me read this again. Arjuna said, O Krishna, those who perform a ritual, giving up what is stipulated by the Shastra, but endowed with Shraddha, what is their basis? Is it Sattva or Rajas or Tamas? So the question about what kind of Shraddha, what basis is it?
Yeah, anyone would like to share about, because Nanaji shared the previous shloka as well of the previous chapter before he began the present chapter. I'm sorry today I was not, because I was just trying to mute the people and I was not really,
Yeah, last
fortunately I could not
conversation
attend.
also.
I was not attentive to what Nanaji was saying. So anyone would like to share, please?
Yeah, I got a lot of interruptions today. Uh, let me see. Those two slokas, that number 23 and 24 from previous chapter he mentioned, where that as per Shastra, where is that one? Like, let me see, 7,
Yeah,
16.
I have projected on the screen the previous
Can I go
shloka.
one more? That 23.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
23rd
So
and
where
3rd.
he said, yeah,
यः
Shastra Vidim.
शास्त्रविधिं मुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्. You can just read the English one, no?
Yeah, exactly. So though the one who being impelled by binding desire engages himself, casting away the injunction of Shastra, gains neither maturity nor happiness nor the higher end. That's what this is. Nasa siddhim na mapnodi na sukham na param gatim, which is like if they're not following Shastra and only impelled by desire, then they're going to not achieve anything. And so that same sloka goes. Go ahead and read it again. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyavastitau jnanatva shastra vidanoktam karma kartumiharsa igarsa kartumi arhasi.
Yeah, very well read, Maharaji. You have Gyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Miharhasi.
Yeah. So therefore, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you, Arjuna, in the determination of what is to be and not to be done. Knowing what is said by the mandates of Shastra, you are obliged to perform action here in this world. So that we follow the Shastra for what is to be done, what not to be done as per Shastra. So that's what it's Shastra is the means of knowledge. So that applies here, right? So this first question itself, he's asking, if you done by as per Shastra, endowed with Shraddha, what is their basis? Whether these three gunas, each guna, how if you do the the ritual based on this Shastra, and what is their basis? Is it Sattva guna, Rajaguna, or Tamas guna? Who would be doing this ritual with Shraddha? So Bhagavan answers the next one.
Anyone would like to read the shloka or I will continue? Anyone would like to read? Sheilaji, Madhuriji,
Jai
Savitaji?
Gurudev. Yeah, Jai Gurudev. There are a
Yeah,
lot of disturbance in my area, so I was just hesitating. Now it is a little bit quiet. I will. Okay.
yeah, please go ahead, Sheilaji.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetima Tam Shrunu. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha said, Dehinam, for the embodied beings. Swabhavaja, that which is born of the nature of the mind. Sa Shraddha, that Shraddha. Satviki, Satvik, Rajasi cha eva, and Rajasic, Tamasi cha, and Tamasic. Iti, thus, Trividha Bhavati is threefold. Tam Shruno. Listen to that. Threefold Shraddha. Shall I continue?
Yeah, because they are couplets, right?
Together,
Second
yeah.
and third. And
Sattva,
English.
yeah. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata. Shraddham ayoyam purusho yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. Bharat, O descendant of Bharat, O descendant of Bharat, sarvasya, I'm sorry, O descendant of Bharat, Arjuna, sarvasya, of everyone, Shraddha, Shraddha, Sattva Anurupa, in keeping with the mind, Bhavati, is Ayam Purusha, this person, Shraddhamaya, who is permeated by Shraddha, Yat Shraddha. He who, whatever Shraddha he has, Saha eva Saha. He is that Shraddha alone.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can read it.
yeah,
Oh.
Dr. Murthy, please.
Yeah, I'll read it. Oh, descendant of Bharata, Arjuna, Shraddha of everyone is in keeping with his mind. Is in keeping with his mind. This person who is permeated by Shraddha, whatever is his Shraddha, he conforms to that Shraddha. This is where he said, right, like where one person is dying, that whatever swabhava they die off, and then that's a swabhava they will have, right? And then they'll go on with that Shraddha. That's not going to be altered, he said. I don't know anybody else's comment to go ahead.
Nanaji gave the example of that when we are in the school, the way we keep our books in the bag. I mean, everything happens with Shraddha, right? That's the
Mhm.
example here he gave, no? In the same words?
Right, the same Shraddha, that like similar to that everyone has a little different, right? Like even in the same family, you have your sister or brother, they may not be doing the same thing as you are doing. Like when you wake up, your ritual could be getting up, brushing your teeth, and taking bath and pray God, and the other person weren't so lazy, even brushing their teeth, just sitting, laying in bed some more time, awake. Things like that. And so that's, he's kind of differentiated. Different people have different subhava and shraddha.
Yes. Anyone would like to share?
I think when we know this from very core, that we are dominated by these sattvas, and that our behavior also is predominantly due to these three gunas. The more this becomes clear, then blaming each other will reduce much and acceptance will increase. That will help us in our day-to-day sansaric life also, I think.
It's true,
Because the tattvas are trigunas are so dominant. So we cannot expect a very tamasic tendencies person to follow what we are saying. That compassion will arise in us also, and then we will not get irritated with so many negatives. We can save our minds. Jai Gurudev. And with time also, some people like they come out of tamasic rajasic tendencies also, but
That is
uh,
true, but like yes, you're getting older. Even you say, okay, I don't want to be tamasic. You don't want to be laying in bed or something. But even if you did work around the house for a while and you feel like you need to rest a little bit, so we just have to um, adjust to ourselves. So I think there's going to be, to some extent, you have to accept some of these gunas, and more we evolve into sattvic guna maybe. But eventually, of course, you don't want to have too much of tamasic. You don't want that to be predominant. That probably what we have to how to get rid of that tamasic guna is like just keep doing something throughout the day, like even if you're laying in bed reading something or some action, or listening to the Gita talk that we have, we can revise it, or some, things like that will make us towards that goal. I mean, I do understand, like, you're not looking down upon somebody else, but we can encourage them. Hey, listen, this may be good for you, things like that. Be good.
basically we can save our mind because of others' behavior. We get disturbed, no? We can always save our minds that due to this type of guna, he or she is behaving like this. Then we, otherwise what happens, at a, we keep judging people, we have grudges against them, we want to teach somebody, and then if the some kind of that guna is dominant, under the influence of that guna, the person suddenly is not going to change, even if he or she understands that whatever he is doing, that pramada is not good, but then he or she is so much under the influence of guna for a period of time, it becomes difficult for them to come out of it and raise in the other, go into the other guna. It is a
Yeah.
Prakriti's
This
nature
is
to
where
move in three gunas, no? Continuously it happens.
we cannot change anybody else, right? So we have to accept what they are for that moment and move on. We don't want to get ourselves disturbed or perturbed because of that. So hopefully, as much as possible, our mind to be stronger, so that we are not um, perturbed because of others' actions or something that would disturb you. Again, like yesterday, you guys were saying, of course, I also go to the same Sangha too, that 5 knowledge points, accept the people as they are. Yeah, if your own family member, you can educate them, but then if not, other outside people, we can't do anything with them. You can, if you're a close friend or somebody, your relative, yeah, you can give your opinion if they're okay to, at least in the receptive mode. If not, even that won't be useful to them, useful at that moment.
Jai Gurudev. But the knowledge point which says accept people as they are, this gives a deeper meaning to that. Because earlier it was just a statement like, why why we should accept. This gives a deeper meaning. And I think that can be practical also.
I didn't get that point. What were you saying? What is the different meaning?
In the sense, this was a knowledge point, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
why should we? I mean, what is the reason we should accept people as they are? This gives a deeper meaning now. Like, they may not be able to change themselves. We cannot change themselves. And why it is so? Because of these gunas. So when you know the reasoning, especially for the logical mind, why we should be doing this or doing that, when you get that deeper meaning, I think to follow such knowledge points has become easier. That's what I would try to say.
Okay. Yeah, but that's good. Yeah, but the thing is, what I meant to say is, like, we cannot change somebody else, like, to the way we want them to be, or something like that, you know. So then they are born with that guna and they have to learn and change accordingly. That can happen, but we won't be able to do that.
Ma'am, that's right. I mean, Dr. Brahmra keeps saying all the time, like, educate and leave. That's what in our hand. Many a times it is difficult to just see something bad going on or something wrong going on around you. And just keeping quiet may not be right also. So educate people and then leave it.
Yeah, so here in the coming verses, God is very, I mean, Bhagwan has very well described as well the worship part here. It is mainly focused, the type of worship we make. Should we go ahead with the fourth and fifth? Anyone
Jai
would
Guru.
like? Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
The Shraddha bhav is like the Shraddha quality. It also develops over many lifetimes. Like what Nanaji was explaining, that it becomes your swabhava. You know, the Shraddha will not come in a single lifetime. It will also evolve in every lifetime. Am I saying wrong? I don't know. Like, I was just contemplating. So
No, I think
No,
that
no,
is
this
because
is
Shraddha
absolutely right.
cannot develop in a single life. No,
Yeah, correct.
it will take many lives until you have this feeling of Shraddha. Shraddha, then after that surrender. So I was just thinking it over.
Yeah, that's true. And Nanaji keeps saying, no, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Brahmaraji also keeps pondering over that verse.
Yeah.
Here, mainly, but Bhagwan is trying to focus mainly on the worship part and Shraddha, if I'm not mistaken.
That is there. No, I'm not relating it to this shloka, but I was just contemplating, like, the Shraddha part is like, if you are having Shraddha, then only you can worship, or then only you can do rituals. Otherwise, you will not go into them. No.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the children, they have Shraddha in their parents. They do what they think that they are right, so they have that faith in them, and they will follow their parents' advice or whatever they are being guided for. Like the Nachiketa, he had the faith in his father's words. So in the end, when the father got irritated, he said, "I will give it to Yama." He had that deep faith in him, or the Shraddha in him. He thought, my father's words are like, they are the exact truth. They are just not to be uttered like this. It must be having some meaning. So he offered himself to the Yama, the god of death. I don't know. It was just a thought came in my mind, so I was sharing. Go ahead now, Dr.
Yeah. Thank you for
Leelaji.
sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone would like to chant Shloka 4?
I will do that.
Yeah, please go ahead, Madhuri.
यजन्ते यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्ष रक्षांसि राजसः प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः. Satvika janaha means the sattvic people. Devan means deva. Yajante means worship. Rajasaha, the rajasic people. Yaksha rakshansi, that means the yakshas and rakshasas. Anya, others. Tamasaha, the tamasic people. Pret, ghosts. And bhutaganan, and bhutaganas yajante means worship. Bhutagana means, I think, the Manushya Lok, is it? Bhut means 5 elements, and we are all made up of 5 elements. No? So, Bhutaganas means all the human beings on earth. I don't know. Please, somebody can explain that. Maharaji, Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, actually, Nana said like ghost, and I thought it's more like ganas, like I'm, these tamasic people, tamasic, they worship, maybe, like some of this, he mentioned like for yakshas and rakshasas, he mentioned Gubera, right? Like Gubera being one of the, brother of Ravana. And so that passed up for the Rajasic Guna. And where Tamasic Guna, I'm thinking, I don't know how to say it in my language, they call Kateri, and, the certain type of things they have it as like family god or something like that. So I'm not sure what god that is like. As far as we, so the 3 things what Nanaji said, for Sattvic people, you worship the devatas like this Varuna, Indra, and then Perumal, Shiva, and Durga, and those devatas for Sattvic people, and then Yakshas, Rakshasas, I just told you, and Tamasa is basically, even in the meaning here, it says ghost and Bhutaganas. I mean, I don't know exactly what Bhutaganas are. Have you seen at the if you go to villages and things like that, they will have certain, they call it Grama Devatas. I'm not even sure they're under this Bhutaganas or not.
No, he said
South
Bhut
side,
Pretas,
but I
it's
don't
to
know.
do with
Pretas
the
is different. Pretas is different. Bhutaganas means all of us. All the human beings on the earth are Bhutaganas. Pretas are those, the lower yonis, tamasic people they worship, no?
and black magic, he said, right?
Black magic, yeah. Correct. All kinds of low level का वो करते हैं ना, दूसरे को तकलीफ देने के लिए, to trouble others, they do a lot of this thing, that thing. That is all called the tamasic tendencies, no? कुछ तो भी ये जादू कर दिया, उसको ये कर दिया, उसको वो कर दिया, उसको ये तकलीफ होने दो. With all this negative tendencies, like the troubling others, and doing all these kinds of pujas and making them happy, and then make them a slave and work for them to trouble others. That is all Bhoot Pret. That Bhoot Pret is different. This Bhutaganas, I think so, all human beings on the earth. I don't know exactly what is the import of this word over here in this shloka.
I think in this shloka, it is what Maharaji and others said, the Tamsik man. I'm just reading from Swami Chinmayananji's book. The Tamsik man worship the pretas and bhutas, the dead spirits, and such other low and vicious powers are invoked by the man of inactivity, tamas, for the satisfaction of some of their low urges for vicious sense gratifications. Men of low moral caliber and false education generally would try to fulfill their pernicious ambitions with the help of wretched, vengeful scum of the society, pretas, bhutas, who, though physically alive, are dead to all sweetness and goodness in life. These hired gundas, thugs, generally chosen from professional jailbirds, are the fit powers to be invoked in order that low and criminal ambitions of the tamasic can be fulfilled. I hope you
Here
can.
that bhoot means
That
bhoot pret, what we
no,
say,
no,
no?
that is different. That Buddha, that's Buddha. You know, the Buddha Kride. You know, that is given to this Panjabhutas, and that's different. This Bhuta Ganas, like you know, even Shiva, you know, has this Ganas. They call Ganas. You know, for them they call Ganas. The short, stout ones, they just run. You know, whatever Lord Shiva says, they'll go and do that for them. So that is called Ganas. You know, not for the human people. There, I don't think it's called Bhuta Ganas. Where somewhere we read that, right? Like there are beings. I forgot where we read. It has different name. There also they call it as like Nandi, Nandishwara, like the one accompanies Lord Shiva. You know, they all call Bhutaganas, but I'm not sure that is anything to do with this one. But they basically, the demonic some demigods are who, you know, the spirits and the ghosts, that they are called, they are worshipped by this tamasic people. Pretan, yeah, ghosts and Bhutaganam is Bhutaganas, Jante worship.
I think here
want
what
to read
Swamiji intends to tell us is that
one.
Bhagwan has said three types of worship: sattvic, tamasic, rajasic, and tamasic. So, sattvic and rajasic is very clear. But for tamasic, I think those people who are having vested interest and those who want to harm the society, they try all the means to, as we discussed in the previous chapter as well, no, that they are muda, they do not have the vivek buddhi, so they will try all these means of worship, and they
I
will
mean, there
try
are
to.
different kind of beliefs, right? So, for them to achieve certain things, they invoke the spirits and things like that, like who are like mandravatis, you know. You are very scary people. That those kind of things, but they are not known at this point. I don't know who is doing this kind of things at this now.
I
But
think
anyway, let me finish reading this. The Sattvika people worship the devas, the Rajasic people worship the Yaksha, Rakshas, and the other Tamasic people worship ghosts and Bhutaganas. Even you know, if you Google it also, it comes like demons and ghosts or spirits. That's what it
yeah,
comes.
it's the tantric pujas, na, which initially also Nanaji explained, like they do they are called aghoris who do these tantric vidyas. They do in the places where the bodies are burned, or they are in after funerals. Na, they do all these practices there in the places where the bodies are being cremated. They are called aghoris. These are tantric vidyas that are negative energy, basically. No? Or
I
the
don't know
tamasic
what
people, they
like no, the things we don't need it, we don't have to dwell on it, I don't know, you guys want to know about it, go ahead. But to me, those are, to me, when we're talking, it's better to avoid all the negative thoughts and negative thinking part of it. I just want to, especially for me, when I'm about to sleep, some of these things I really don't want to.
so sorry, Dr. Mara, so
No,
sorry.
that's not it. I mean, I just wanted to know, like, I like to, in fact, we all speak sometimes negatively, but then the more and more, like, I'm learning, try to, even something comes up, like, I try to put it, so I won't be able to attend that. I won't even say that. So I could say, I miss it, or, something positively you say, that word no, or not wanting to use so much, like negative.
Yeah, I was just trying to explain the
I
tamasic.
understand. Like, there are so many things in Mahabharata, the Saguni version. I mean, he is a person, but he does lot of those kind of things to attack the Pandavas, and he does something to his own sister. When she's pregnant, he brings her and do some puja like this to, that's how that that some of these things happen. So yeah, people believe in some of these things. They bring some spirits into their house, or
Yeah, so right now we just need to know that Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic, three types of worships are there. Sattvic people always worship devas. Rajasic people, they worship yakshas and Kuber type of rakshasas as well. And Tamasic people, they try to worship these all. Okay, so we will go ahead with the 5th and 6th verses. Anyone would like to read?
Shall I read?
Yeah, please go ahead.
अशास्त्र विहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भ अहंकार संयुक्ता कामराग बलान्विताः कर्ष्यन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्रामं च चेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्धि आसुरनिश्चयान्. Shall I read the meanings? Dr. Mara, you
yeah, go ahead.
meaning you can read.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Ye janaha, those people who dam ahankar samyukta, riddled with pretension and egoity, kama rag bala anvitaha, endowed with strong passion and longing, achetasaha, lacking in discrimination, sharirastham bhutagramam, the sense organ obtaining in the body, anta sharirastham mamacha, and me obtaining within the body, eva also, karshyantah, emaciating, a shastra vihitam, not enjoined by the shastra, ghoram, terrible, tapas, religious disciplines, tapyante, perform, tan vidhi, know them to be, asur nishchayan, of asura conviction. Dr. Mara.
Yes, sure. Those people who riddle with the pretension and egoity, endowed with strong passion and longing, and lacking in discrimination, perform terrible religious disciplines not enjoined by the Shastra, emaciating the sense organs, obtaining in the body, and me too, who obtains within the body, may you know them to be of Asura conviction. So do you want me to read one more time this one? Those people who riddle with pretension and egoity, endowed with strong passion and longing and lacking in discrimination, perform terrible religious disciplines not enjoined by the Shastra, emaciating the sense organs, obtaining in the body, and me too, who obtains within the body, may you know them to be of Asura conviction. I know Nana is laughing at this one, like poor Bhagavan is also getting emaciated because of these people not eating during their tapas. They go on for ages without eating. So that can cause emaciation of the sense organs of the body and also the mind. So they not have any discrimination and affecting the mind also.
This shloka is strongly condemning about the fasting.
Well, I
Like,
mean, you can do some fasting. I mean, and not like thousands of years, right?
Like no, the Ekadashi fasting, which is prescribed. Like I also joined the Art of Living. Vijay sir was guiding about the Ekadashi to not to take any food, only on water or lime and honey water.
Yeah, but the one Nana is saying
the crude way of fasting.
The Chandrayaan, like that one of that.
It's also it is related to this Ekadashi type, like in every 14 days the Ekadashi Vrat comes.
No,
So
that one.
Savitaji, this is a sattvic tendency. It is not a tamasic
no,
tendency.
it is a sattvic tendency. No, it is a sattvic. But I am telling about that, like the fasting. Keeping a fast is being totally condemned here. No,
No, not at all.
Condemn that.
Miss torturing the body. Torturing the body is very different. Gurudev also keeps 9 days fast.
Torturing is like where you are
It's
doing
very different.
Yeah. Otherwise, what Nanaji said was like that.
But you mentioned fasting also. What I heard.
Wait. The Woodwala, like that.
No, it is a detoxification. It is very beautiful practice of doing Ekadashi. If your body can sustain that, only the Pitta people should not torture themselves just on water. They should have enough fruits or milk or something. But upavasa, fasting is very much a part of very much sattvic practices.
No, I acknowledge that. No, I acknowledge that, and I keep also, like I am on this Navratra fasting and Ekadashi fasting. I myself keep them. But this shloka is condemning this thing. No? That's why what Nanaji was saying, that by keeping fasting, you are taught, like literally you
mentioned about Chandrayama, that Chandranyama.
Yeah, the extreme.
That fasting is 1 second. That fasting affected that person because before that fasting, he was able to. What did you learn? He asked that disciple, and he mentioned, "Oh, I learned all these things." So he tells him to go do this particular ritual, like fasting for 14, like a month or so. After he completed, he comes back So what did you learn? Now he says he didn't remember anything. It's hard for him to remember. So what that meant was, when you do that kind of type of fasting, it can affect the mind and the senses. That is what he was trying to tell you. So if somebody is doing the fasting, it can affect their mind and their senses, and then it may not be the right thing for them to do. I mean, for example, if you take some physiology, and I mean, as being a professional, like if you eat some food by 4 hours, it's going to lower, it goes down in your body. So if you completely go off of it, then what happens? It generates the ketosis, it goes to your body storage. That body storage kind of causes that glucose to break down and gives that glucose to all the cells of the body. So we need to understand the brain and the heart, the important organs in your body, needs that glucose and oxygen. I mean, every cell in the body needs that glucose and oxygen. But if that glucose and oxygen is deprived, like below that 60 or something like that, then your brain cells can even die, like if they last for a few, even for minutes, like that's where people with diabetic patients, like when their sugar goes really low, they pass out. They pass out because of the sugar goes below 60 or something like that. So if you're drinking water, the water doesn't have any sugar in it. Unless your body makes it on its own, it breaks it, and then the ketosis that you have to break. So you can go without food probably a day or so. That is not a big problem. But if they're going on for a whole month, like you go completely off the food and reducing the food, I mean, again, depending on what type of food they are eating also makes a difference. But anybody, I'm not into any of this question, but I'm just wanting you to know, like extreme conditions, that fasting may not be the right thing for people, depending on their own body and health.
See, some people, to reduce the body weight, they go to the extremes. Not needed. If their body constitution is healthy, big structure, they will remain like that. Why to trouble body up to that extent? Be happy with whatever the type of body you have got. No, if it is little bit on the bigger side, it's okay. A little bit fasting. See, initially when we start fasting, it burns your toxins. That is up to that level. It is very good. Then sattva increases. Your meditation becomes better, and you remain more healthy. Even Ekadashi fasting is very scientific actually. Okay, don't do it to the extremes. Be very gentle on your body, but at the same time, uh, follow those instructions given because of the this geographical situation on Ekadashi also favors to reduce the food intake.
Yeah,
That
I
doesn't mean
agree. I agree, Matsriji. There is no question about it. In fact, that those days we had those kind of fasting things because we want to give rest to our intestine and stomach and all that, because it's constantly functioning, and we want to do that. That is okay. That is okay to do it. Like even for example, if you're going for, somebody is going for a procedure for colonoscopy to check the colon, they do the screening procedure to check for colon cancer or whatnot. Or if some kind of procedure they have to go through for the abdomen part, they do ask people to not to eat food like from the day before. I mean, they are not going to be dying because one day or something like that, so that is not the problem. But then if they are doing fasting in 7 days a week, that I'm doing fasting on Tuesday, I'm doing fasting on Thursday because of this Ekadashi, this comes the Amavasya or something else, then it's going to affect their health, so that That's where you have to draw the
Yeah,
line back.
then imbalances happen in the body,
Yeah.
and consequently, then mind also goes into imbalance. That is not at all. This is actually torturing the body. It is very much tamasic kind of fasting. Need to be very careful about it. Even this only on water or something, very once in a while you do it, but on regular basis it is not needed. Once the body is purified, you are already doing so much sadhana, satsanga, and whatnot. So it will not go toxic. It will not become so toxic over and over again and again. So we need to use our discrimination, and unnecessarily no need to trouble the body up to that extent, I feel. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev. Here, I think it is very well clarified that out of passion and strong longing, some people have the habit like, agar ye ho jaye, if this will happen, and for that I want to keep fast. When our intention for doing that fasting is out of kam rag bala anvitaha, right, endowed with strong passion and longing, that is here condemned. Okay, when those people who do um, uh, out of pretension, egoity, sometimes they do out of pretension also, no? Some people, like when we have seen politicians, they go on fasting, that if this condition is not fulfilled, they do fasting, where they will not eat. So for such people, I think here it is said that these things are not encouraged. If I'm mistaken, kindly correct me. But here I think Bhagwan is very well clarifying that those people who riddled with pretension and egoity, endowed with strong passion and longing, when he's like sometimes out for fulfilling some desires, they do fasting.
That's it, right? He only did up to 6 verse today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Any-
want to, I don't know, Mrinal is here now or not, but the other day she asked the question, like, why are we gathering here? I was going back to listen to some of the initial tapes on the Gita. The first one, actually Nanaji is bringing up that why we are doing this. Like, remember we talked about those 4 Purusharthas, Artha, Kama, what is that, Dharma and Moksha, right? Artha, Kama, Artha is for security, and Kama is for some pleasure things. And then of course, Dharma is like for whatever we do for others is Dharma, or others do for you is Dharma. And then that after all these things, anything we do, the security and the pleasure and whatnot, is that for your happiness. Bottom line is the happiness. So this one that we pursue, this knowledge, is also Satchidananda Swarupa, that's for that Ananda. So that is another, this is also for that. So we are, as a human being, we pursue most of the time things for the happiness, our own happiness. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah, that's very wonderful, Dr. Mara. Very nice.
I hope, I don't know.
Yeah, Mrinalji is not there, I think. Okay, anyone would like to share? Or one of you can just say Shanti prayer and we can end the Manana session, please.
Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय गुरुदेव।
Jai Gurudev. Dhanyavad everybody.
Sarvam.
Jai Gurudev.
Namaste. Thank you.